proposal in 2012, where he suggests that the Earth is full. This outweighs arguments made by Peter's suggestion for the abundance is our future. The main three environmental issues we will discuss are pollution, the average environmental footprint per person, and three, population, which is also related to food and water scarcity. There are another three methods that would help mitigate this issue, which are educating for climate change, government policies, and making people aware, with the point that technology is not enough on its own.
One of the main environmental issues with overpopulation is a lack of water supply and water pollution. According to National Geographic, only 2.5% of global water is fresh, with just 1% being accessible. And by 2050, one-third of the people on Earth may lack clean, secure source of water. Poor management of water usage has led to negative repercussions. The UN Environmental Programme conducted a study concluding that aquifers recharge at a very slow rate, usually at 1.1 to 0.3% a year. Overconsumption isn't the only water issue humans pose. Pollution from toxic factory waste, agricultural runoff, and human sewage. The UN Water Decadent Program states that 90% of wastewater in developing countries is discharged untreated, polluting rivers, lakes, and seas. 80% of pollution to the marine environment comes from the land, one of the biggest sources being agricultural runoff.
The second environmental issue we face is our ecological footprint. Our current rate of consumption is surpassing the rate that the Earth can sustain. As individuals, we are currently on average using 2.7 hectares of land for resources and waste absorption per person, but the Earth, being the size that it is, can only support 1.8 hectares per person. If we keep consuming our resources at a rate, we will require another planet equivalent to the Earth by the year 2050. Since 1970, the Earth's ecological health has decreased by 35%. It now takes 1 year and 6 months for the Earth to regenerate what we use in 1 year. Like Paul says, we are speeding towards a crisis. We are living in an unsustainable way, and we must take action in order to prevent this.
Another environmental issue is the lack of agricultural land and its pollution. More people means more mouths to feed. Farmers will be forced to turn to less desired lands and new land formed through deforestation. Overfarming leads to erosion and less fertile areas, as well as more runoff pollution. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, carbon dioxide, methane gas, and nitrous oxide from deforestation and agricultural practices account for the majority of caused greenhouse gases. Deforestation is a major factor, and during the last 2 decades, agricultural expansion, logging, and other human activities have caused the deforestation of more than 120,000 square kilometers each year. An area only 1/10 the size was regained due to reforestation efforts and natural regrowth.
The first mitigation strategy is government policies, which help ensure that citizens of a specific country act in the manner that the government expects of them. For example, the UK's Clean Air Act, which was implemented in 1956 due to the Great London Fog in 1952, which caused 4,000 additional deaths due to high pollution concentrations. After the Clean Air Act, pollution decreased in cities dramatically because of smoke-controlled areas, reduction of fossil fuel use, cleaner form of coal being burnt, and tall chimneys to disperse pollutants. Therefore, as a result of this act, the air quality improved emphatically. And if similar policies can be implemented by the government for the issues mentioned previously, a considerable step will be made towards a more sustainable environment.
Educating for climate change is the second mitigation strategy. Studies from the Global Survey found that approximately 1/3 of the world's adult population has never heard of climate change. This is a startling statistic which highlights the lack of understanding of the impending disasters that climate change poses on our planet. By educating and improving public awareness of climate change, it will help people to better understand and address the impacts of global warming. It will also help to encourage changes in their attitudes and behaviors and help them to adapt to climate change-related trends. Heidi Cullen, an educator from Climate Cult Central, said that the main goal of climate change education is to educate the public in considering what individuals can do to address the problem of climate change. In her experience, there are 4 components to creating successful content. Build a strong personal narrative that will speak to your audience. Use local rather than international examples of global warming's effects. Select groups of like-minded individuals with similar age groups and interests, and provide clear and actionable takeaways to inspire the audience to make the necessary lifestyle changes. Investment in education should be a top priority going forward. The general public needs to be aware of the basic science surrounding climate change so so that we can stand together as a global entity, and as Paul puts it, we can choose life over fear.
Now the third mitigation strategy. Some may argue that technology will be our saving grace, that because we are so capable and advanced, we will be able to solve any crisis ahead of us simply with technology. This is not so much the case. Yes, technology plays a role in advancing how sustainable we are, but humans need incentive and a real purpose to achieve a given goal, a goal such as saving the environment. Also, advancement in technology may solve the overuse of one resource while at the same time using up another. This leads to projects that are expensive and out of reach. Therefore, technology cannot stand alone in being our solution. We must look to the key factors of government policy and education to get people to take action.
It is apparent that we as a species are living far beyond our means, and this extravagant lifestyle is causing irreparable damage to our planet. Rising temperatures and sea levels, pollution, depletion of fresh water, and poverty are just some of the consequences we are facing. While technology is ever improving, it is not enough. We must band together, support government environmental policies, adopt environmentally friendly lifestyle changes, and educate the next generation to guarantee a future on this planet that we call home.